From the snowmobile capital of the world, Eagle River, Wisconsin, this is the 26th running of the World Championships of Snowmobile Racing. Brought to you by Skidoo Snowmobiles. Skidoo. Better ideas make better snowmobiles. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy Trucks, who invites you to experience the '89 Chevy Trucks and listen to your heartbeat.
Hello, I'm Paul Page with three-time Indianapolis 500-mile race champion Bobby Unser on a magnificent day here at Eagle River. And it's really appropriate to have Bobby along because, indeed, this is the Indianapolis 500 of snowmobile racing. We'll be crowning the world champion here today. But, Bobby, the weather, 35 degrees, blue skies overhead, great for the spectators, but it could make it a little rougher out on the track.
Look, Paul, no gloves. It's really a nice day, the best we've ever seen here. And well, what'll happen is we're about right now at 35 degrees, 3 degrees above freezing. The ice is starting to chip away. It's not melting, but it's getting soft. The carbide on the skis are just ripping the ice loose, and it makes the racetrack really loose. But it's going to make a good race.
Getting to the starting line as a part of the final field for the World Championship race at Eagle River is a grueling two-day test for the race driver and his machine. Starting at 8 o'clock Friday morning, 80 3-minute slots of track time are made available to the Formula One drivers for time trials on the hard ice oval. The 36 fastest sleds with the 2-lap time-ins advance to the elimination heats. Then, on Saturday, starting at 1 p.m., 6 elimination heats of 6 drivers in each race for 8 laps. The first and second place sleds in each heat then advance to the semifinals. The remaining 24 drivers are given a second chance in the running of 3 additional heats of 8 laps each, with 8 drivers competing for the top 2 positions in each race, narrowing the semifinal field to 18 hopefuls. Then, 3 14-lap semifinals with 6 sleds each are run, with the top 3 of each semi taking the first 9 positions on the starting line for the World Championship race. The consolation or last chance race is the last race of the day, with 9 sleds that did not qualify in the semifinals desperately fighting for the checkered flag and the 10th position in the first row of the World Championship starting line. An exciting and unique possible addition of 2 more sleds to the World Championship race is being implemented for this year's title race. The winners of the first and second places in Sunday's Formula One final will be given the option of forfeiting prize money and first and second place finish in the record book for a chance to run in a second row position in the World Championships.
And Ted Otto, the starter, now beginning to put the sleds online for the World Championship snowmobile race here at Eagle River. Jacques Villeneuve, number 96, the fastest qualifier, has chosen the inside position for his starting. Alongside number 15, Gary Vessair, his brother, number 1, Bruce Vessair, in the 3rd position. Then comes 04, Chuck Decker from right here in Eagle River. Then Greg Goodwin on number 3. Jeff Goodwin, his brother, on number 4. Both Illinois coming here to Eagle River. Then Dave Reimenschneider on number 26. Alan Decker on 03. Don Lilly on 33. Mark Perks on 23. And back behind the line, starting in the 11th position, is Dave Wall, who broke the track record here. Starter Ted Otto is ready to go. The green flag flies, and now the sleds head down into the first turn at Eagle River as we are underway. A crowd as they head through 1 and 2 and then stretch out onto the backstretch. Greg Goodwin jumps into the lead, going into number 3 now, as still a battle throughout the pack. This is, remember, a very long race. As Greg Goodwin comes across the line, leading lap number 1. Surprise, we really expected Jacques Villeneuve to jump up to the front at the start of this race, and he did not. The battle is for second place.
We sure did, Paul. Greg Goodwin just had a real good start. His machine was instantly right off the starting line into the first turn, and right now he's got a fairly good little lead. He's not running away with it by any means, though.
Fight for second place, Bruce Vessair and Alan Decker. Now, Bruce Vessair has never raced in the World Championship here at Eagle River. He holds second place right now. The leader continues to be Greg Goodwin.
Now, number 3rd place, we got to watch him, Alan Decker. If you remember earlier, I made the statement that Deckers haven't been doing too well during the qualifying races, Paul, but it certainly looks like Alan's got a breath of fresh air. I think they did a bit of overnight work.
We'll keep track of Dave Wall as well. He has moved up and running in 5th position. Remember, he started in the 2nd row. He's quite a story here at Eagle River on the number 74 sled. He broke the track record by 100ths in the 4-degree temperatures 2 days ago, and then in the elimination races was involved in an accident. He is riding with an injured left knee, and it is a long ride here, and that could take its toll during the run.
One of the worst accidents we've seen in a long time. Just pegged that wall head on, and I think if it hadn't been for those hay bales and a lot of snow behind there, boy, he'd have really been a hurt gator, Paul.
Greg Goodwin out in front. Bruce Vessair is chasing, and now Dave Wall pulls up to do battle with the 0-3 sled of Alan Decker. So the fight is for 4th place, as our leader here, Greg Goodwin, has had a fairly easy run right from the get-go. Now, as the temperatures have changed here today, they've dropped about 10 degrees in the past couple of hours, now down to about 27 degrees. That makes a difference in the track surface. Bobby, you were concerned before the start of this race about the dropping temperatures and how if they stayed around freezing and the track surface were to get too slushy, it would make for a very difficult race.
Well, as you watch the sleds run around the track, you can see all that snow churning up around the sleds, but it really isn't snow. It's all cut up ice. It's all like little tiny ice cubes falling. And ironically, though, the weather's turned back cold again, so the ice is really in good shape and fast.
The question to Greg Goodwin: what will it take to win here?
Myself, I think in the past I've probably been a little more conservative with the 25-lap feature idea. Tomorrow that will change. I'm going to go as fast as I can right from the start.
Bruce Vessair is out in front. Interestingly enough, as we call off these names, especially Decker, Vessair, Goodwin, there are 3 sets of brothers in this World Championship run. That's the first time in the history of this race that's occurred.
3 sets of fast brothers that have been racing snowmobiles all their lives, Paul.
So out in front, Bruce Vessair, you see him now, and you can see the fight has developed now for 2nd place. As Bruce comes across the line, it's Jacques Villeneuve that is beginning to challenge Greg Goodwin for 2nd place. Villeneuve comes to the high side. As Vessair comes onto the backstretch, you see him at the right edge of your screen, and Villeneuve, for the moment, is around and into 2nd place.
Jacques Villeneuve, right from Indianapolis cars to snowmobiles, but he's been doing snowmobiles all of his life. Indianapolis cars, Paul, ironically, at one time, were not his first thing. Snowmobiling was.
The question to Jacques Villeneuve: what is the Villeneuve magic at Eagle River?
It does some magic to me here. I don't know why, but the machine runs good here, and it's a long straightaway track with sharp corners, so always run that. And I said not too bad. And a short track like we did last weekend at Plymouth is not too good for me.
So Wall now up to 3rd place as we're at the halfway point in this run for the World Championship.
Wall has been the crowd's sentimental favorite, and especially after that terrible wreck he had yesterday, to come back today with a hurt leg, he's really running fast, Paul. But I think it's Jacques Villeneuve right now really putting some pressure on the lead machine, right?
No question about it. They head down into the first turn. There's Vessair on the number 1 sled. Right behind him and running the inside line is Jacques Villeneuve. It indicated before the start of the race that he really wanted the inside line. That's where he ran the best, by bringing that sled down as tight as he can and keeping it tight coming off the corner. Bruce Vessair looks around, checks the position of Villeneuve just behind. Villeneuve, 3 times a champion here, a world champion at Eagle River. Vessair is running in his first Eagle River World Championship. So now he has Jacques Villeneuve to contend with, and that is a lot of pressure for a new guy.
Boy, just look at all that ice they're throwing up. Those things have got carbide cleats all over the tracks, on the skis. I mean, they're really cutting the ice. Look at it as it goes around the corner there, Paul. Really churning up the ice. And Jacques Villeneuve, of course, a very small, light, but tough person. And he's really chasing that Vessair boy right now.
Top of the order, Bruce Vessair, followed by Jacques Villeneuve, and then Dave Wall is up in 3rd place right now. Our early leader, Greg Goodwin, has dropped down to 4th place, and the 26th sled of Dave Reimenschneider is running in 5th.
Jacques Villeneuve just took over 1st place from Bruce Vessair. Leading it now. We're just having awfully good race right there. Look at Jacques pitch it. Nice. A little bit too high right there. He got in the turn too fast, got passed right back, Paul.
And they swap positions once again, so Jacques Villeneuve back in the position of chasing. Brings it down inside Bruce Vessair. They're side by side through 1 and 2. Villeneuve actually forces Vessair up a little high, but Bruce Vessair hangs on. The number 1 sled out in front. Villeneuve now tries the high line as they go into 3 and 4. Villeneuve gets pushed just a little high and then chops it down for a nice smooth exit. And he's back in pursuit of Bruce Vessair on the main stretch.
Normally speaking, Jacques Villeneuve's got a groove all of his own. He'll go in a little bit high and then what we call diamond in the turn off. He'll just cut right down at the bottom and usually starts a straightaway a little bit sooner than the other guys. sometimes when the track's just right, it gives him a good advantage, Paul.
And beginning to pull up into contention as you look at all three of them. The first three positions, Dave Wall was up and closing just a bit. So it's Bruce Vessair, then Jacques Villeneuve, and then Dave Wall, as they continue their battle with about 6 laps to go to determine the World Championship. A half-mile around this surface. To the TV screen, it may look like snow, but let me assure you that is hard, solid ice underneath.
They're already starting to dig up the ice a little bit in the grooves. If you watch going into turn 1, you can watch the machine bounce a little bit right there. Jacques, he went way too high there. You can watch sometimes he gets the whole machine right in the air at the same time.
Bruce Vessair, what will it take to win the World Championship?
Well, I'd like to get the whole shot, but I don't think I will. Unfortunately, I don't get the best start. You know, we start to run a little quicker towards the end of the race, and hopefully that's going to continue tomorrow.
And once again, Villeneuve runs high off of the second turn, and that gives second place to Dave Wall. So Dave Wall, who riding with an injury, but riding valiantly nevertheless, now moves into second place and begins his pursuit of Bruce Vessair.
Right now, the only sled out of this race has been Chuck Decker. Everybody's still in the race, and it's one of the most exciting races I think we've seen here.
And Vessair now at a difficult point in the race because he begins to encounter slower traffic just this quickly and must really pick his way around the sleds that sit in front of him. This is a time, Bobby Unser, when you really need to know the man that you're passing and know what to expect out of him.
Oh, you really do. You got to remember, these guys don't have mirrors on these things, and their pit crews are not allowed to give them pit signals, so they don't have any idea when somebody's coming up to overlap them, so they really better know the other rider.
So for the moment, this man, Bruce Vessair, on the number 1 sled, has the advantage of having a slower sled, separating him from the battle for second place. Second place at the moment is occupied by Dave Wall, but right behind him and closing down now is Jacques Villeneuve.
Yes, he is, Paul, but remember, Dave Wall started in the second row, spotted back about 15 yards, so he's really come a long ways.
Looking for the checkered flag. It's in the hands of Ted Otto, and Bruce Vessair has won the World Championship. Dave Wall comes across the line in second, and third place will go to the 96 sled of Jacques Villeneuve. Bruce Vessair, his first ride in the World Championships, brings home a checkered flag. Bruce Vessair has won at Eagle River.
He went fast and he handled good all day. In fact, if you notice going into turn 1 when we pointed out the bumps, Paul, his machine was taking it a little bit nicer than the others, not bouncing quite as high as Jacques Villeneuve's did.
An extremely impressive ride, smooth all the way. He didn't take it easily to a checkered flag. He battled to get there and battled to stay there.
Jacques never let up on him. He kept pushing him all the way, and even though he had a little bit of space there at last, meaning a lap sled in between he and second place, he still didn't know where they were.
One man who has to be very happy. He is all that matters now at Eagle River, as Bruce Vessair has won the Eagle River Snowmobile Derby and is the world champion.
I have the romantic notion that the snowmobile is the last horse. And if I really want to, I can point it west and ride till the sun sets on winter.